Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great. Good. About a year ago, I released a video which pedantically told viewers how to properly pronounce some of the more commonly mispronounced words in the gun world. I thought it'd be about time to return to the well and look at 12 more words that we tend to mispronounce, with few exceptions. All of today's words are European brands, so it's probably understandable why many of us on this side of the deep water get tongue-tied when trying to say them out loud. Preamble complete, let's get into it. First up, we have a Serbian weapons manufacturer that traces its history all the way back to 1853, headquartered in scenic Kragujevac, Republika Serbia. I generally hear their name pronounced as Zastava or Zastava. The correct pronunciation isn't far off. It's actually Zastava. Kind of rolls off the tongue. If you're curious, the word means flag. Next up, while we're in the beautiful country of Serbia, we'll look at a noted manufacturer of ammunition and reloading components, coming into being in 1928 and located in the lovely city of Uzice. I've heard it pronounced any number of ways, but the proper way is Prvi, say the E, Prvi Partizan. Now, if you want to be super Serbian about it, you can pronounce it as Prvi Partizan. It means first partisan. Alright, the first of our Yankee brands is one famous for manufacturing aftermarket grips for handguns, shotguns, and whatever else you can add one of them to. It's pronounced Packmeyer. Now, I've heard a number of different pronunciations, including Packmeyer. Anyway, this company is a division of Lyman, which I did not know until I made this video and actually looked into the company. Packmeyer. Okay, our next victim is a Finnish firearm and ammunition company, one of deserved renown. I've heard this acronym, and that's what it is because it stands for You know what? I'm going to let you figure that one out. At any rate, I've heard people say Seiko and Sacco, but I am reliably told by those who speak Finn, it's actually Sacco. Sacco. Alright, while we're on Sacco, let's learn how to pronounce one of their most famous products. Most people pronounce this as Tika. Understandable, since English tends to compress words constructed like this. But if you want to pronounce it the Finnish way, it's Tikka. There's a slight pause between the two Ks. And I don't know, sounds prettier that way. Tikka. Alright, while we're stuck in northern European climes, this Finnish gunpowder manufacturer makes some fine products for us reloaders. And hearing those same reloaders pronouncing the brand can be humorous. Well, maybe to Finnish ears, I don't know. It's pronounced Vitavuori. Vitavuori. I'm told that you probably won't get the H to sound right, because apparently even Finns can get it wrong. Alright, we're going back to America, and this is a company that's actually owned by the same umbrella group that owns Vitavuori. I've actually heard people pronounce this as Berger bullets. I don't know, maybe they think the company is like located in France or something and they're all like fancy people bullets, like the Dijon mustard of bullets. It's actually pronounced burger. I mean, it's American. How else could it be pronounced? Alright, coming straight out of Russia is our next gun world word. This company takes its name from a Eurasian antelope and is probably best known for their AK-style shotguns, though they also produce a number of rifles based on Uncle Mikhail's design. I've actually heard this pronounced as Sega. I'm not sure how you would get that from the spelling, but as I said earlier, people saw Sacco and pronounced it as Seiko. At any rate, it's pronounced Saiga. Saiga. Italy deservedly gets praised for a lot of things. I mean, they got beautiful women, great food and wine, history that spans thousands of years, ancient architecture, I could go on, but firearms often get overlooked. It's a pity because they have a number of companies that have been turning out quality firearms for, in some cases, centuries. At any rate, this is one that I've heard butchered as Tanfoglio. It's actually Tanfolio. Tanfolio. The G in Tanfolio is silent. These guys make everything from chainsaws to sewing machines to motorcycles. Back in the day, they used to make firearms, though sadly in the 1960s they got out of the business. A shame, because they turned out some pretty nice stuff, as sports shooters and military surplus collectors can attest to. Now, I've heard their name pronounced most commonly as Husqvarna. I'm not sure where they get the A in the middle of it, but alright, whatever. Understandable, since I doubt the average gun owner, at least on this side of the Atlantic, speaks Swedish. If you want to pronounce it correctly, it's actually Husqvarna. Husqvarna. They've got a name from the Latin language, but they're actually from Idaho. Now, most people mangle it as Veltor or some craziness. The original Latin is Ultar, which means avenger. The V often stood in place of the U when the Romans were, Romaning. Anyway, that's how it should be pronounced, but Americans being Americans, the company actually wants you to pronounce it as Voltor. No. As someone who actually speaks Latin, yes, Latin loquor, I'm overruling them. You can say Voltor all you want, but I'm going old school with Altar. Everyone's favorite side-feeding bolt-action rifle, man, I want one so bad, has a name that few people say correctly. I usually hear krag-jorgensen. Now that might be how you want to say it in English, but it was a pair of Norwegians who designed it. So if you want to say it the way that Ole and Eric would have when they were putting it together, you say krag-jorgensen. I read somewhere that the reason why the pronunciation became Krag in the US was because of a song at the time which rhymed that word with flag. Harder, I suppose, to create a stirring rhyme with krog. We'll fight them from the sea, we'll fight them from the bog, we'll do it armed with a trusty krog. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Last up is a Czech ammunition and reloading components manufacturer. Now, when people screw this one up, it's usually as Cellular and Belot. In all honesty, many years ago, that's how I used to say it. So how do you actually say it when you want to impress the pretty Czech girls? Well, the most common pronunciation that I've heard described as correct is Cellular and Belot. Though some do argue that Cellier and Belot is acceptable as well. I won't fight you on either. And there you go. There's a baker's dozen of more pedantic pronunciations that you can use to Cliff Clavin people at gun stores and the range when you correct them. Don't say I didn't warn you, though. At any rate, I hope you found today's video at least be vaguely entertaining and mildly informative. As always, I hope you have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.